What is up, Sour? We're back into another video, and we're here at the shop with all of our good friends are back today. My buddy Vinny's right here at working, Caden's back over there, Sage is back at work, so we're back to the normal capacity of just doing this every day as a full team again and getting everything handled. Finally, it's been a tough 4 or 5 months they've been gone, and as you can see right here, and you kind of saw behind me probably right here, Jair's fully built engine is on the stand. Completely assembled. All we gotta do is the oil pan, start getting the intake manifold on and bolt the turbo on, and the engine's pretty much done. That was a cool video. If you haven't already watched it, it is on my channel of me assembling the whole engine. This engine does have pistons, rods, valve springs, retainers, ARP hardware, race bearings. It's all been machined by super professionals that do the majority of everyone else's stuff. And this beautiful car is here. We got a super nice 2002 Is300 original 5-speed car with some I guess they're Cosmos Racing wheels he's got on it, and all black interior. Pretty nice, man, for what it is. So we have a huge list of stuff that we're going to be putting on this thing. The GE and the W55 are going to be coming out, and we're going to be trading him all out for a bunch of all new stuff that's coming out of it. We have a fully built RM54 in the office that I will walk over there and show you guys. AEM Infinity. I'm in the process of making him a brand new wiring harness. We have his clutch kit, pretty much everything we could possibly need to get this together. We're hoping for somewhere around 700 horsepower. I know the engine's fully built and can probably do, you know, 1,000 wheel and wouldn't be a big deal. But honestly, the customer's never had a lot of power. We've already seen what happens to people that are not careful with jumping in increments and respecting their vehicle. You get hurt, you get injured, or you break your car, and then you lose all the money that you put into it. So we're gonna go ahead and get the drip ripped out in the next few minutes, and then get right on the process of getting this thing put back together. And let's get in it, guys. All right, peeps, well, you can see that everything is pulled out. We're pulling the engine out right now. So we're going to get this on the floor and then get ready to start assembling Jair's engine on the stand and then getting it in the car. So in the next couple of days, we're hoping maybe by Saturday, we'll have this thing put back together. And yeah, the Goombas are back, guys. Just like that, she's out. We're gonna go ahead and get rid of all this junky shit right here and start putting in the good stuff. So we're gonna start removing the ABS, because obviously with all of our stuff, we don't wanna deal with any of this and have a lot more room to work and make it look super clean. So Caden's removing that. Vinny's getting the fans off right now. And yeah, we're gonna rip this out. So all right, guys, so we're back on Jair's car right now. This is the already manual Is300, the 2002 that we did the fully built 2JZ GE engine in with the fully built RM54 with the Marlin color internal. I'm gonna go ahead and go over everything going on clutch related right now, but this is ready to go in. We're gonna go ahead and get everything in here kind of planted up and done, but all the ABS delete stuff has already been done. We went ahead and made a kit like we did an Angel's car over here. 2 gray Is300s on the lift right now. Pretty funny. If you haven't already seen the video about Boosted Angel's car, that car's up as well. 1JZ non-BBTI swap bone stock with a stock ECU, and this one just a little ratchet kind of drift car kind of thing. But in this one, this is really more like a fully built full race setup that's meant for like roll racing and drag racing kind of setup. So what we're going to be doing right now is we're just going to go ahead and plant the engine in so we can take drive shaft measurements and get all this stuff bolted in, and the clutch bled and the brakes bled and everything else going. And then based on the harness and computer setup that I'm choosing to do with this, I mean, since it is an O2 and we want to go ahead and keep all the amenities inside the car, AC and all the gauges working and everything all factory, we're going to go ahead and do a dual ECU setup. But in the case of this, everybody keeps asking me if we can go ahead and run a full forward-facing intake manifold in any of the cars, because every single one has the big excess power full-size plenum coming out the front, and it's really kind of hard to work on because there's not a lot of room. So once I get the engine in, I'll kind of go over that with you of what we're going to do. But for now, let's go ahead and get into this. So we have a brand new RM54 setup in here. Like I said, it's been fully built. Everything you can possibly do has been done to this. There is some pictures on his video for the build of this engine right here that is completely beautiful and brand new. Pistons, rods, valve spring retainers. We got ported heads, 272 cams, just like, you know, the works, you know, everything we can possibly do. On this, we went ahead and went with the ACT Extreme clutch kit. This should be good for somewhere around 700, 800 horsepower. I mean, we'll test the limits of that. We've already done 700. about 700 horsepower on this clutch before, and it hasn't given us any issues. We're doing the 6-puck unsprung with the Drift Motion ultra lightweight flywheel right here. So this is all gonna go together right now. I have to assemble the pressure plate because we have to go ahead and get all this new stuff on here. So let's go over some of the stuff right now. We're gonna go ahead and put a brand new pilot bearing in because obviously the crankshaft is brand new and we haven't put this in yet. We're gonna go ahead and put a brand new ACT release bearing, and these ones are a pull type. So it sits like that, and the forks and the hub are going here, and it pulls on it with the fork inside of here, right here on the retainer. So what's gonna happen is we're gonna get our brand new fork out of the bag, and that's gonna go on after when we're gonna be putting that in. And then we're gonna get the brand new hub. This is the part number you need for the hub, you guys, to be able to make this work. Give me 1 second. So how this works, you guys, is right here. This is where the fork is gonna go ahead and clip on like this. And the fork is gonna go ahead and pull this up with the bearing. So the bearing goes on like this. And then you have this spring kit that you have to buy right here that clips everything in and keeps it all together so we can actually use this. So if you've seen any of my other videos, you can go ahead and go check it out about how to do this. There are a few other RM54 videos online. I'll go through this real quick just to show you kind of how it goes very quickly. And then we're gonna go ahead and get it all put together, get it bolted on the engine, get the transmission mated. And we actually have a brand new, if you have not seen these are the brand new Drift Motion CNC Billet shifters. These are being sold in pretty much every single extension size you can want. And the internal rod is also a machine piece as well. It is a super, super, super nice product. They're about $500 though. So just be aware, your transmission kit is probably gonna be somewhere around $5,000 to get a fully built transmission with the whole entire shifter assembly and everything too. It's not very cheap, but for applications like this is gonna sit directly in the middle, exactly where we want it to be, and shift beautifully. So let's go ahead and put this together real quick. Give me 2 seconds to get the bag open. I'll go over it real quick with you and we'll go ahead and get it done. So as we can see, we have the springs in and the snap rings in. So now this is not gonna come off. It is free spinning and we're good to go. Then we're gonna have another 3 of these. Obviously, this is gonna be the base. Then you're gonna go ahead and have your little kind of like take up the space washer that goes in between it, and then you're gonna have your lock washer that's gonna clip on it too, and that's gonna make it so when we go ahead and put this through the actual pressure plate, it's gonna hold it in place. I think when I put it through backwards originally, but whatever, you'll see right now. All right guys, so this is with the spring and everything put together to go ahead and lock this in place, and now you can see it does spin freely. Then what we're gonna do is it's gonna have to go up and through the pressure plate. And obviously we're gonna have another 3 springs or 2 springs and a lock washer here. That's gonna make it go through right here. So I put it through like this originally. That was wrong. It does need to go through like this. I don't know, got kind of stuck on perspective right here, but we're gonna go ahead and put this in right now, and then we're gonna go ahead and get it bolted on. So 2 more minutes. All right, so this is our modified fuel hanger that we've done. We've already went and put the pump in here, already put it back together. We're gonna still have to go ahead and modify the regulator side of this and go ahead and weld that shut and get rid of that. But as you can see, we went ahead and put a 6 AM bulkhead in here for now our return line to make it non-returnless. And then also we're gonna be going ahead and slicing this off and keeping this for our feed line. That's gonna be now feeding our surge tank. We're not gonna go ahead and do an end tank. I believe that with the Is300s, the best course of action is to go ahead and do a surge. We're gonna try something a little bit different on this, on how we run it, just to see if it's possible, because last time with Q's car, we saw there was a panel you could go ahead and remove in the rear. I don't know if we can get up above it or into it, or I don't really know, but we're gonna go ahead and try to snake these lines down through the panel that's gonna be in the trunk, and then also possibly even run our feed line through that panel as well. I don't know how it's gonna work. We'll kind of have to go from there, but battery will be going on the right side and surge tank will be going on the left side, and then we'll kind of just put it together and see how it goes from there. But the 2 lines that we need to go ahead and feed and return fuel to our tank are now done. So now we're only have to do 2 more lines and wait for the surge tank to come in from Nuke, and then that'll give us proper fuel to be able to make the power that we need to make with this car. So also, we are now done with our clutch kit and everything here is ready to go. So we're gonna go ahead and bolt this on to transmission stuff right now and get that all assembled and then go ahead and put it in the car. Okay, so transmission is on. Everything's all put together, forks in, starters in. We're gonna go ahead and start getting this thing in the car right now. And then we can start getting our drive shaft measurements done and our shifter planted, our center console back together, brakes bled, fuel system set up pretty soon. Just waiting for a few more things from Real Street, and this thing will be on the dyno. Let's get it. Yeah, baby! All right, so Caden's over here putting the new Excess Power exhaust manifold on it. We already went ahead and put the Turbo Smart Hypergate wastegate on, hacked off the 4-bolt flange, welded the V-band on. Right now, we're gonna start getting the sensors hooked up in the block for oil pressure for the AEM. And we got a brand new comp turbo here that just got made with the dyno sheet and all the goodness. I really like comp stuff because they pretty much have everything here shown on paper of what the turbo was dynoed at, and you know, all the other stuff, you know, Cyrus performance, yada yada yada. And then you get your sticker, and basically your serial number for your actual turbo is stamped and matches this for your warranty and all the other stuff that you'll end up getting with them. And then we have right here a brand new 6865 turbo, just totally beautiful, nice brand new cast housing with the rear housing. We went ahead and put an 81 on this one, like we typically do for all of our stuff. So this is gonna get put on there right now. We're gonna start doing turbo lines, getting the intercooler all mounted up, and getting more stuff done on this today. Okay guys, so we are getting a lot of stuff done on this. I actually ended up missing a little bit of the process of this, but we're just here where we are right now. So we got the intercooler already done and mounted. This is the bigger core that we typically use for all of our Mark IV Supras. I kind of got the idea from our buddy's Treadstone intercooler to run the bigger one. We're gonna make it fit in the bumper, try to get it up inside down in there where we're supposed to be. So we're gonna be mocking that up when we're done with the intercooler piping. The exhaust manifold and wastegate are already put on. I don't know if I had shared that in the last video, but it is done already. Also, downpipe is already up and in. It fits very tightly, but it does fit. And then as far as everything else, mounts have been replaced. Radiator is in, and we're working on the intake manifold. So you will have to hammer your shock tower here and kind of push the AC lines back and move them out of the way in order to run the excess intake manifold. You went ahead and modified the throttle body and also CNC the throttle body, a little O-ring for a gasket or for silicone or whatever you want to use. We're going to be adding our ports in the bottom of this, which are going to be 1/8 NPT fittings to vacuum line fittings, and then our 3/4 NPT, I believe is what it is. I could be wrong, don't quote me 100%, but the AEM GM style big IAT sensor is going to be going in here. We're going to go ahead and put our map sensor here, our fuel pressure regulator, map sensor is going to go here, our fuel pressure regulator vacuum is going to go here, and then we're going to have our brake booster line that's going to come from here, and then we're pretty much going to be done. We're going to go ahead and bolt all this together, put a little bit of silicone on the gasket, put the gasket on here, and then we'll be ready for fuel rail, throttle cable. We can finally go ahead and bolt the AC in. We are waiting for one fitting. Right now it's a 1/8 BSP to twin NPT fitting, so we can run our turbo feed line and also our oil pressure sensor. So we're not going to finish that up, but we can go ahead and start on fuel lines as soon as we're done with getting the intercooler piping and everything else kind of situated for this. So very excited to get this done. Yeah guys, I mean, I would say by the next video we should probably be able to get this car started. So very excited for Jair. I mean, there's gonna be a lot more that goes into this. We're gonna be doing wheels, tires, like a balloon slick in the rear from Mickey Thompson. We're gonna be doing brake upgrades. We're gonna be doing just all kinds of stuff for this thing sold too. Drive shaft should be done by the end of the week. All right, guys, so as we can see on my intake manifold right here on my TIG bench, we're gonna be going ahead. This is the bottom side of the intake manifold. We're gonna be welding in 4 ports. So we're gonna have the intake air temperature sensor like I showed you in the video. We got the other 3 right there. They have already been drilled out, and the bungs drop into the actual piece now. So we're gonna go ahead and TIG weld these up real quick, and then we're gonna be able to start bolting the whole intake manifold side of this together so that we can now have intake air, map sensor, fuel pressure regulator, and brake booster. Let's do it. All right, so as we can see, it fell a little bit everywhere and we haven't gotten a chance to really do too much major cleanup, but the whole entire hop side is done. Turbo line's done. We're just waiting on feed line and an adapter, and this looks super great. I'm super happy with all this. As you can see, these are already all in and ready to go. We got all our ports and all of our sensors already there. So this is gonna be going in just like this. As I've said before on the other video, if you haven't seen, you will have to go ahead and move your AC stuff back there and massage everything. Even the shock tower will have to be slightly hammered a little bit to make enough room. And then you'll have to reach your hand down here, down the whole entire manifold to get all the way to the back. So it is kind of annoying. Luckily, Vinny has small hands, so we should be good to go. You can get arm deep all the way up in there. So we're gonna go ahead and bolt that down now, and map sensors installed. We're still waiting on oil pressure, but we can also now start on throttle cable. We can go ahead and put the plugs in. We can go ahead and put the coil packs in because valve covers and grommets and gaskets are all done. We're gonna go ahead and get the fuel pressure regulator mounted on the firewall. We're gonna be installing that. And then we can start on battery location and wiring, which I also have done now. And we can go ahead and get moving forward on getting this car started and hopefully get a dyno day in the next few weeks. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys enjoyed the video for this thing. A lot of stuff's been going into this car to get it done for dyno and hopefully get it done sometime before Vegas. Customers definitely very excited. A lot of money went into building this car, so we're trying to make sure that we go over every little section of this and make sure it's all done quality. Dot all our I's and cross all our T's and make sure that everything's gonna be where it needs to be for this thing to get done. So next video, we're gonna be doing fuel system. We're gonna be doing with the surge tank. We're probably gonna we ordered two. We have one from Nuke and we have one from Radium that we just ordered, a new Radium kit that has been out of stock for a while that Real Street had in stock that they actually saved for us. And a whole bunch of other stuff's gonna be going into this. So until next time, guys, keep watching. Peace.